welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And as you can see, Rengar is about to get first blood on a Leona, who's still going to have 60% KP for her team, and the Draven will still do way more damage than the Aphelios, just to contextualize that little mishap. Now, I do see the Rengar here, and I'm here to tell you that Ghostblade is broken, in case you weren't already aware of that. Hecarim is one of the biggest abusers. This champion is one of the biggest inflators in the game right now. I don't know why he can't be bad for more than 1 or 2 patches. Obviously, here I'm talking about general player base, not necessarily always permanently in high elo. In high elo, Rengar is pretty damn strong. Actually, you know, there haven't been many times in history where he's been stronger than the way he is currently on this. Now, obviously, we lose a little bit as you look at the lanes of that Infinity Edge spike that we were going, but who really cares when they put absolute focus into Bloodthirster, so we have more damage up front as we can just ult people from full HP. We do want to go the Essence Reaver, we still want to go Lord Doms, we can go the Collector with the buffed lethality as well. This champion, however, obviously he scales with movement speed and he loves that item so much, so absolute much. And you know, Kha'Zix is also a little bit of an inflation champion at the moment. I'm sure you may have noticed recently. Really enjoying the Ghostblade as well. So for high elo Rengar, yeah, he's gonna be, you know, one of those champions that can do these things. But this is the shit that we're gonna want to see against Hecarims. When you see this drooling champion scout down and full clear down with 0 skill, don't let him get away with it. Use the fact that you're Rengar. Obviously, we have Bowtooth stack here extra, but go ahead, wait, set your trap, and let's try and get that invade. Now, the Hecarim's doing the smart thing, which is full clearing into wolves, into Gromp, into blue. So the Rengar, if he wants to go for this, would have had to have used this preemptively so he can actually just jump and get the kill. We always have to pay attention to the fact that the Leona is now being pushed out. The minion wave issue in the bottom lane is definitely one to keep an eye out for, especially in double range lanes. But, you know, you can still affect well-executed dives early, and now we have Lissandra using her mid-prio, and I was promised that mid laners would stop rotating, and junglers would be OP, and instead we're just really investing in this while he's doing that Gromp. And of course our mid laner synergizing with us here is great. And we're going to get that stun, we're going to get the flash, we're going to miss the Bola, which is a bit unfortunate. We'll have the E through Claw, which means we should be able to kill him, which we can do. Now Talon's going to show me flash over the wall. You can't hippity-hoppity back to me, sir. He'll hip-hop over that one as well. Leona now trails down and will get killed also. This, for me, is the kind of stuff that allows Rengar to be so good. It's not necessarily these late invades that we see that give us first blood. It's the fact that we can cut our clear short and use our PvP potential against enemy full clearing junglers very strongly. But because Ghostblade is meant to be our upfront burst itemization, the sooner you can get that, the sooner you're going to turbo stomp every single game. So while you might not, and of course the kills in this game are huge, but they're spaced out. There isn't a sort of a runaway straight up level 3, he's going to run into the jungle and have 20 kills by 2 minutes. No, he has to keep still jungling properly because Riot have designed this to basically say, look, mid laners, you should not be able to rotate as fast and as much as before. We're going to take away these plants away from junglers, counter jungling at critical moments. Like you steal a blue and a Gromp and they're coming down for you, you can't escape before 9 minutes now if you don't have map scaling. Rengar will be one of those champions. So can you get out? Can you fight your way out? All of that is going to be really interesting. But what has been maintained, as you can see here, is the ability to say, look, full clearing junglers, I'm not giving you a free pass, and the first person to get Dirk and Ghostblade wins. Against Kha'Zix as well, it's also very valuable. Obviously, he likes the Prowler's Claw tech second, because even though that active is gone, rest in peace, it is still very important for us to understand that. And just to show you a little bit of the effect of the lanes here, you see these minions right now, you know, they're tied up with the mid lane and the top lane. They're really sped up. It really looks quite funny to watch them go so quickly. But they're reaching sooner, which is allowing a lot of interesting level 1 things. We've seen some tweets already yesterday about people being zoned off out of the second wave at level 1. It's kind of tough to play around. But you're seeing this huge stack now. Rengar has to go into this big fat wave that's being, you know, pushed into the blue team. They're just going to tank all of this damage here. The Draven's going to get this done. They're going to try and kill the combo, but the Rengar's damage is absolutely insane. She's actually just about to live here. Oof, you know? It's really going to be interesting to watch the development of the jungler's ganking impact here, with also mid laners willingly basically saying, look, if I roam, you know, and a wave dies while I'm roaming, do I wait 20 seconds for the next one? Or do I just have to go back to the mid lane? It's going to neuter certain champions like Twisted Fate, especially early. And in pro play and high elo, you're going to see a lot of this Kale kind of stuff just scaling it to 40 minutes and chilling. And in the meantime, obviously, the Rengar is basically going to say, look, I was told there were no dives anymore. That's the thing. The fundamentals of jungle as we wait for the wave to crash, and the minions who are attacking the turret will no longer attack anybody else. So you're not going to get that minion help. So Shen, sad. Tryndamere, sad. The rest of us, The principles and the fundamentals will always hold true. You want to go for a dive? Go for a dive. You want to take some plates? Take some plates. You want to take some plates before you activate the Herald because the plates become more difficult to take, even more so now? It's the same stuff we've always done. It just means there's less margin for error, and the risk assessment has to change, which is why you will see a lot of people just go 0 risk and just scale into 14. You know, laning phase at least will be quite boring in pro play. But it doesn't mean you can't cut your clear short, invade a guy, go back to base, take some camps, repeat gank the lane, even if the minions are a little bit faster stacking, or go ahead and tower dive and get a kill here. None of that has changed. So we are 3-1-2 by 6 minutes. The Hecarim is basically now thrown for a loop after they invade. He is just going to be full clearing and doing whatever the hell else he wants to do. The next goal for Rengar at this particular stage is obviously rush that level 6, but we just dinged 5. We'll hit this plant here. No plants here. Look at this, just so you're aware. No plants here, or here, or here. Which means if you decide to go on an adventure, invading Krugs, killing people, taking Raptors, taking second reds, and you can't get out because you don't have map scaling, you're not going to be able to get out at all. At all. And for my champion pool, including Rengar's, that's kind of rough. You know, if you've done a flash, you go in here and they can collapse on you, you're going to have to pay attention to lane prio. So we're going back to the old days of the pre-9 minute buff invades and everything like that before we had plants. And that makes me actually a little bit sad because that was more so used by junglers than supports and mid laners. I don't know why that's going to make laning phase more safe. It's going to make it just a little... Why would you... I love it. I love it. It's the lack of respect, right? The absolute lack of respect here from the Hecarim. He just runs in knowing that the Rengar's going to want to do this. Because if you sequence down and you track the Rengar that he's doing this, right? You would see him die with an extra 8 CS. You would see him die with that red buff. You know he's going to go to the blue side quadrant. You know this allure of your red's going to be up. The best thing you could have done is honestly just say, take it. Let me try and vertical. Let me try and take this. Let me try and get the bottom lane. Just give it up. Because if you're predictable as a farming jungler, where you do this all the time, an assassin predator like Rengar, especially in this state, he's going to demolish you every single game. So what you should do is basically say, take my blue side. See ya. I accepted you might go there. I have no idea. I would anticipate that kind of aggression, right? Can I maybe get bottom lane ahead and go for dragon? While Rengar does this, sure, he takes all of this, he kills this, he takes this. That's fine. At least I'm getting into the game. But most players will do what the Hecarim did, as you do, and the Rengar will do what the Rengar does. Okay, Kayle does have her ult. Ignore the frames to the right. That's just a glitch. We're going to use our ult after the Krugs and go ahead and snack this up. I had to start that over again because I said Kayle has no ultimate, but she clearly did, and I got fooled by the frames. So if you can track that, do so. But of course, here you're seeing a little bit of a... Oof, he almost hit it. She's got speed up. Do we have the Bola? We have the passive proc. Can we turn the kill here? Can we try? Cassante, save me. Oh man, the red buff ticking, 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 and now the Cassandra cuts in, and now we can easily get that kill because we just have to wait for that Q jump. Come on, sir. That was a nice little runaway, though. That also shows the value of boots. Like, he literally just got the boots as he ganked the Kayle, and that those magical booties really came in huge. Now we have the Ghostblade. Now you're going to see the true power and how we can use it and leverage it. So this game is looking a little bit one-sided, but there's always a way back into it. You know, you've got to imagine, as a jungler, when they want to constrain laning phase and make it a lot more about the laners, you are the consistent, impactful person on the map. You know, if a support's not going to be able to roam as much, if a mid lane is not going to be able to roam as much without giving up too much or missing out on things, then you are that ganking factor, right? So if you can remove the enemy jungler from that, you're really gonna have a lot of a good time. So what we do now is we go to the top side into the Grump, and of course we'll go into the Wolves. The Hecarim at this point should obviously, as we saw, being bottom lane, but he should be bottom lane. He might be trying for this. I would like to loop back and take this Herald, to be honest with you, but I could see a school of logic where it's like, hey, our ult's gonna be up against soon. Let's just go kill the Draven 18 times. We don't really need to force anything just yet. Obviously, while that happened on the top lane, Hecarim ganked mid lane. He's now counter jungled us as well. That's expected. And the Hecarim probably expects the Rengar to go for that Herald. Rengar says, I want this RNG Scuttle Crab. I've seen the mid laner killing the Talon, which is great. Talon champion, gonna be interesting to watch that development as well. We activate our ult. We see the Hecarim. He's way out of position. So even though we got a bit of counter jungling on, you know, you kind of want to make sure you're doing that and you're long gone by the time the Rengar shows up. And you don't want to reveal your face on this because You want to be leaving deep vision, ideally, in this particular scenario, as she goes and takes that herself. The Hecarim's got to understand at this point that you cannot fight this guy. And again, just in case you aren't aware of what exactly this does, you gain the 25% movement speed as per normal, but you gain these spectral shards that build up. And when you've got 40% out of combat movement speed based upon the spectral shards, you're going to have an added lethality bonus to your damage, right? Which means you're going from 18 lethality plus 9, 27 lethality that will obviously give you attack damage as a mythic bonus for each of the items you get. So that bonus lethality plus collector lethality plus Lord Doms plus the movement speed active that we have. Potent, no? Very, very potent. Very strong. That's a lot of movement speed, and, as you would have seen, we are going the Relentless Hunter in this particular package as well. A lot of lethality as well. You can check the stats here, so we had it there. The stacks do reset, but it's on your bottom left, and on your HUD you'll see the little Ghostblade symbol stacking up, and again, we're going for a dive here. We'll take another plate here. The fundamental aspect has not changed. Ganking is ganking, diving is diving, moving around is moving around. Yeah, turrets are tankier with their plates, and, the Herald is now more valuable for that true damage as Kale has snacked it up. But when an item allows you such an unrivaled power spike, you've got to use it in the right way. And in low elo, mid elo, most Rengar players beneath high elo, the reason why the champion doesn't see a lot of success in general is just because people don't have the predatorial instinct of, hey, you're sequencing top to bottom, you haven't swapped yet? You know I beat you 1v1? Alright, thanks for the kill, thanks for the red buff. Leverage that into a gank on the top side, get a little bit lucky, that's okay. Do I want to go for the objective? No, I want to make sure I defend this side, gank bottom lane. Oh, you took my stuff. Get into his jungle again. Dive again. So you're seeing the power as we press the button. Human's Ghostblade, obviously, great for the bush jump as well. We ward, we jump over the wall. Really absolutely insane. Look, we're at 49, 53, 55, 63, 67. And we are at 100. So now we can activate our ultimate. We're going to get the bonus lethality proc going forward, and we can just guarantee get a kill onto the Draven. Hello, sir. We get disengaged on the Draven. We do hit our Bola, and now Leona actually turns that around. So we probably should have been a little bit... That was very anticlimactic. We should have been a little bit more disciplined and let the karma maybe go in first, but... well then. ADCs are a weak position. ADCs are terrible. Okay, well that was definitely more interesting now. Yeah, we got this shutdown in this killing spree onto the Draven, who's now thinking, hey, can my jungler do something? Hecarim's like, hey, this is a freebie. Rengar's dead. What can I do about this? I will scan this brush. Are you messing up playing Hecarim, though? Full clear. Respect the invade. We got invaded, whatever. Gank. Gank again, full clear gank. Right? You just full clear and gank either side of it. Pick your lane that you want to do it on. Enjoy yourself. Lissandra has now got to the bottom lane. Remember, they unleashed teleport does work 10 to now 10 minutes. It's gone from 14 to 10 minutes. So that will also be something worth noting. This is the plates here we have. You see it's dying. Now at 100 and 100. Amplified, that resistance, subsequent resistance plate by the amount of champions. So goon squatting is reduced, hopefully, just a little bit. This item is kind of strong. Current mythic, I mean, I wish it would give me an actual damage bonus, no? Like how much lethality gained or something like this? How much extra damage dealt from lethality due to the stacks? That would be interesting. Again, she ults, we hit the rune, we try and trap her in place, the Leona moves on over, gets the flash here, Cassandra uses Unstoppable, drags her away from the Kale, then ults herself basically. We jump back in on the Kale here, is now chasing the Cassandra, who's gonna go back in for an EQ. Doesn't work, we're gonna flash and get that Q for a kill. Now we're stunned in place, we hit the Bola. We will chase. She stays away from the brushes, and we say we don't really care. Another Bola's coming up, but there's a mini wave because they're so fast. Pre-14, stupid ass mini wave that should be back there. Now we have to absorb it, and that's a good example of a bit of a real world effect of it. She walks near the bush here. Why would she do that? Is help coming? Should I be careful? Yes, I should be. Talon's arriving. I have Ebola. Can I use it? I'm going to chuck it onto him and then jump onto him most likely. We get stunned in place by the Glacial Augment. We'll cleanse it with our W, and we die. Well, that was right. Well then. Okay. Cool. He's still going to get 20 kills. He's still going to get 20 kills. 100%. Just you wait. 934. Silly death here. This death was just funny. Hecarim in the meantime. This is the most diamond jungling I've seen in a long time. I'm counter jungling, and I'm farming, and I'm like you 030. Has he even used his ult? I'm not paying attention to him because it hurts my brain. Out of base we go. Next item. Building it up. Make sure we get more lethality. Stack it, stack it, stack it. Obviously got the Sheen for our Essence Reaver as well. Activate the ultimate. Now, I'm not sure if I'm really a fan of the Collector second, to be honest with you. I still think you would want to go Essence Reaver Lord Doms, and then you can kind of have the Collector and the easy steal, easy kill, easy snack. So much damage. Ghostblade fully stacked. Talon's coming over the wall. Got maximum jump radius. The champion is so strong right now. Damage, mobility, scaling, snowball. You know, I don't want them to nerf him, but they gotta change something, because Ghostblade is also really working on the Hecarim as well as the Kha'Zix, but this Hecarim player apparently is not, you know, more like a donkey than a horse. Okay, so we have 40 lethality, you can see that, right, with 100 stacks. Now we're being granted 12 lethality, so we should have 28 when we don't have any, and I'll highlight it again. So Draven gets pulled into the Rengar, who jumps to the way Draven was, and then they kind of merge into the death of Draven, and then we'll double jump onto the Leona, and she flashes over the wall. Hecarim is standing there questioning his life choices, and now we're at 28. So you can see the real world effect there. I really wish it would give us some sort of data. Really, really would like to see that. But the amount of lethality you have plus Lord Doms. Yeah. Ghostblade was already strong. They made it juiced. They did ruin Dustblade though. That sucks because Dustblade was such a fun item with the passive. We can stay. Minions are normal, by the way. Minions are normal. So that's just running into danger, but that's pretty much the solo queue thing. So 13-3-5, and honestly, in terms of snowballing quick games to take over, this is a great example of, you know, what it looks like. Remember, if you can take a turret before 14 minutes, you're going to still have these fast minions on the side waves going at the same speed as the mid lane, right? So it's not, we're not reverting back to the old ways. The mid game macro videos I've made will all be the same, because mid and late game macro will basically go back to standard stuff. It's just really that laning phase portion where these minions are sped up, and we're still going to be seeing those effects and learning and playing around different kinds of metas over the next few weeks. You know, activate an ultimate. Whew, that's with the Essence Reaver. Thank goodness we actually did do that. Just got the extra lethality for the shits and giggles of it, because why not? There we go. Hello, Leona. Oh my goodness gracious. 13 now, extra bonus. So when you add that with your percentage penetration of Lord Doms, Draven is pretty fed though. And Draven with the IEBT, so that's retro. Anybody remember the 3 BF sword stacking Draven? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Now we're pushing up the side lane here. We have the Herald sporting. The Kale's like, hey, I was just trying to scale. This guy's like, I have scales because he's a lizard. We didn't even get to use it. We didn't even get to use it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, if you are bad, mechanically, maybe a jungle, play Hecarim. If you're medium, play Kha'Zix. And if you want something that's skillful, that's a little strong right now as well, you can play Rengar, but obviously it's not as easy as it always looks. These people who have put in the time in order to play the champion, this guy's at 80% win rate, those things have come with time, you know. You take all 3 of those champions and make them equally skilled and in terms of balance, and you slap them in the same game. The Rengar player, first time in Rengar, will have a way worse time than the Kha'Zix. The Kha'Zix will have a way worse time than the Hecarim. Kha'Zix isn't exactly as difficult to use, obviously, but does require some assassin knowledge. Hecarim, on the other hand, is very, very easy, and they just don't respect. It's been 10 years of lacking respect of Rengar's bush jump and his snowballing. Really, 10 years of it. Can we go get some itemization now, please? Can we finish the collector? Can't go third. I do think Lord Dom strategically normally will be, didn't get the kill there, will be basically your de facto. But, you know, yeah, there we go. Okay, the collector plus last push, but that's fine. But in this particular case, ain't nobody tanky. So, you know, you benefit directly from Lord Dom's passive when they have way more HP than you, and everyone's super squishy here, so we're not exactly getting that just yet. We're at 1759, for example, and the Kale is at 1558. So you wouldn't even get it triggered, because you want to make sure you have more HP, less HP than the people you're actually targeting. So, Leon in this particular case is 1680. Hecarim in this particular case has 1475. So Lord Doms actually doesn't have a lot of effect at this particular stage in terms of the Giant Slayer passive. But, you know, we'll run around and ult and we'll kill people. This is exactly what you want to do. There's not much more to it than that. I apologize for not having the greatest close game, but it's the first day of the patch. First day of the patch, the replays are usually slim pickings in terms of what we can find, but this really does showcase to you, you know, the Rengar aggression matrix and how to use it properly, the atomization effect of the Ghostblade, and the utility of the added lethality, which you can see has been absolutely nutty in terms of bonus damage. I wish we could see it again. And now how to close out games very, very quickly, transitioning from that fast minion phase to the regular old-fashioned minion phase that we've had post-14 for a while. The Unleashed Teleport will be an interesting thing as well. We have this Sante Bing Shilling here. We'll go ahead and finish out. I guess we'll finish it, but we're not really going to get the benefit of the Giant Slave passive this game. Over the wall, free stun, free kill. Yep, we have it. Could go straight into BT, honestly. But you know, that extra 25% bonus damage is what I'm talking about. With against champions with greater max HP than you're still getting the crit, you're still getting the armor pen. That's all cool and fun, but you're not exactly just getting the Giant Slave passive. So normally you would in a typical game, in a more balanced game, but obviously we don't have it here, so not a big issue. Rengar just runs. Well, that was quick. Ult with Ghostblade. Now imagine with BT. BT's the final nail on the coffin. We don't have it this game, but that's the final item you want to go. BT. Very strong. Rengar, Kha'Zix, Hecarim for Ghostblade homies, Evelyn for a free buffed death cap for some reason, like why? Yeah, best junglers on the main channel tomorrow to discuss more, and we'll have a lot more videos going forward. Better replays, obviously. Just want to showcase to you the snowball, a little bit of the effect of the new meta, and let's get to it. League of Legends 2.0. Virkayu.gg for your jungle PDF and the fundamentals that are eternal in all the courses. See you all in the next video.